morning, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jonathan Holloway, president of Rutgers University. I am pleased to welcome Governor Murphy and all of you here today to Winans Hall for the governor's announcement. We are here at Rutgers today in part to recognize the contributions of alumnus and lecturer Ellie Koenig and his Rutgers students who have supported the work of the Clemency Advisory Board. Ellie, I saw you, but where'd you, oh, there you are over there, Ellie Koenig. A former assistant U.S. attorney who has contributed to New Jersey's bail reform legislation, Ellie is a nationally regarded expert in criminal justice reform. I'm delighted that he and his students could be here with us on this occasion. I'm also deeply proud of the commitment of so many people in the Rutgers community to support individual opportunity and second chances. This includes our leadership on the NJ STEP Consortium, New Jersey Scholarship in Transformative Education in Prisons, our Mountain View program, now 20 years old, and other related initiatives that take place on each of our campuses. We saw the fruits of this commitment last year when one of these Rutgers students won a prestigious Harry S. Truman Scholarship. I'm grateful for the work that happens across Rutgers, thanks to the expertise and commitment of faculty, staff, and students like these, to help others begin on a path to new opportunity and a rewarding future. It's now my pleasure to introduce Justin Dews, Chair of the Clemency Advisory Board.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, President Holloway, for hosting us here today. And thank everyone for being here. Today is a remarkable day for New Jersey. April is Second Chance Month, and there's no more fitting time for today's clemency announcement. When Governor Murphy announced this clemency initiative and formed the Clemency Advisory Board last Juneteenth, we said at that time that this process would be grounded in fairness and not influence, and our only guide and our only end goal would be justice. Well, 10 months later, we've crossed an historic milestone. With today's announcement, Governor Murphy has granted more pardons and commutations than all other governors in the last 30 years combined. He has done so through a process that has elevated deliberate consideration and review without regard to political connections and favors. Quite simply, promises made, promises kept. And it's a remarkable amount of work that can be accomplished in less than a year. Never mind that our work is not yet finished. Governor, in your first election, you ran on making New Jersey stronger and fair. And nothing is fairer than creating a process that separates politics from redemption. You could have stuck with the old way of things, but you didn't. This is your legacy, and you should be proud. Yes. This work is restoring hope and opportunity for real people and real families. Because of that, it's important to reflect on the impact that this effort is having. A mother or father who receives a pardon and no longer faces a barrier to employment now has the full potential to provide for their family and to put their children on a path to success that will benefit them and the generations to come. And we have folks here today who represent this reality. Ms. Rachel Barlow, a pardon recipient, the family of please. The sister of Mr. Jamal Muhammad, who will receive a commutation and return home to his loved ones. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention there are individuals here today whose sentences were commuted last December who can now join us for this event. Don Jackson. So I know the governor will speak in more detail about today's guests of honor, but I want to underscore that Raisha and Jamal and Dawn and Mira and Denise, they exemplify the importance of providing redemption after meaningful rehabilitation. They also represent why our work continues and why we look forward to solidifying New Jersey's position as a second chance state. But records are not meant to be chiseled in stone, never to be touched. Someone's going to be at bat next. As I mentioned at the last announcement, our process was the proof of concept for our next governor that clemency can be granted deliberately, fairly, early, and consistently. So as many of you know, and those who may not be aware, we're in the middle of a gubernatorial election. And I want to speak directly to the candidates on both sides of the aisle. This is an effort worth continuing. Clemency doesn't have a partisan affiliation. The consequences of a conviction are not the exclusive domain of Democrats or Republicans. Those consequences exist whether you're from Alpine or Atlantic City, from Basking Ridge or Bridgeton. The need for redemption isn't confined to a particular identity or geographic location. So it's incumbent on the future leader of our state to grapple with what it means to judiciously and fairly use his or her clemency authority, a power that, if elected, would be there in their sole discretion. There is no check, there is no balance, it's just you. And if, like people in this room and Governor Murphy, you believe that it's self-evident that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with these inalienable rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Rasha, that means your life, your liberty, and your happiness. That means Jamal's life, his liberty, his happiness. Dawn, Denise, Myrna, that's your life, that's your liberty, and that's your happiness. Then it matters that you seriously consider how, if you become the governor of this great state, with the stroke of a pen, you can restore New Jerseyans access to the full enjoyment of those fundamental rights. So, I want to thank our current governor for having engaged in that thoughtful consideration, which has allowed us to be here today. And I look forward to hearing more from him about today's announcement. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the podium Governor Phil Murphy.
Good morning. I just said to my dear friend Justin Dews, who is the chair of the New Jersey Clemency Advisory Board, that was incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
This is not about me or about us. It must have legs. And as personal as it is, and Jim knows this is literally a personal signature on a piece of paper. This must go on. And Justin, a word about you. You are a true champion for those who have been left behind by our nation's criminal justice system. And over the past number of months, in partnership with your fellow members of the Clemency Advisory Board, you have pioneered a new model for granting legal relief to our neighbors who have earned a second chance. A model that is not predicated, as you rightfully said, on favoritism and privilege, but instead fairness and impartiality. So to you and your colleagues, and I want to name them: Jessica Henry, Jo Ellen Jones, Ed Nisi, Michael Zuckerman, and he's not with us today, but in absentia, Bishop Joshua Rodriguez. Let us give a huge round of applause to them. And this morning it is my distinct honor as governor to join you all at Winans Hall here on the Rutgers University New Brunswick campus to announce our second round of pardons and commutations as part of our groundbreaking clemency initiative. And I want to give a personal shout out to President Jonathan Holloway for his leadership and his hosting us this morning, his welcoming words, and his 5 extraordinary years as president of this extraordinary university. I'm a big fanboy. Great to finally meet you, to your students and all the colleagues here at Rutgers. Again, to all of you, thank you for hosting. I don't know what I was thinking. I believe this is the first time I have ever spoken or attended a Rutgers event and not had red on. I don't know what I was thinking. In total, I will be granting clemency to 93 individuals. In the form of a full pardon or by commuting their criminal sentence. Every single one of these individuals has navigated an extensive, rigorous, and thorough application process. They have served their time and owned up to their actions. And most of all, they have earned this legal relief, which will allow them to move forward in their lives so they can contribute to our shared future. And with this latest round, as Justin alluded to, with this latest round of pardons and commutations, our administration is officially making history in New Jersey. And Justin said it already. Over the past 5 months, we have granted clemency to nearly 130 individuals, and that is more than, I believe, the entire 30 prior years combined. So God bless them all. As Justin said, we have provided this legal relief with a degree of deliberation and thoughtfulness that, as far as we know, is without precedent either in New Jersey or in this nation. But our success so far is really a testament to Justin, his aforementioned fellow board members, along with all of the members of my council and policy teams who have worked tirelessly to bring this initiative to life. And I want to give a few particular shout-outs. I want to give a shout-out to our Chief Counsel, Kate McDonald, Deputy Chief Counsel in the back. We miss you, Matt Burns, Special Senior Counsel for Clemency, Lee Kelsey O'Donnell, Director of Criminal Justice Policy, John Butler, and Policy Advisor Natasha Kami. I also want to give a shout out to some other organizations that are represented here today. The ACLU, Amol Sinha and Rebecca Uwakwe. The Department of Corrections Commissioner, Victoria Kuhn, her ombuds person, Terry Schuster, Sam Plumerai, Dr. Ronald Slaughter, Dana Rogers, and others from the New Jersey State Parole Board, Public Defender Jen Saletti, Jim McGreevy, CEO of the New Jersey Reentry Corporation, one of my predecessors. God bless you, Jim. The chair, and he's no longer with us. I was going to give Joe Danielson a shout out. Members of the clergy, I see Reverend John Taylor with us, Reverend Derek Green, and many others, and I'm sure I've skipped some, but to everybody here, thank you for your support and your passion. And of course, I want to thank a very special couple of guests with us today whose lives will be changed by the actions that I'm taking in a few moments. Raisha Barlow, who's with us in the front row, who was one of the 87 pardon recipients. And I'm told you've got a whole bunch of family members who came in from Virginia. Is that right? Commonwealth of Virginia, welcome. We're from Jersey, baby, by the way. I also want to acknowledge the family members of Jamal Muhammad, whose criminal sentence I will be commuting, including his sisters, Ruqayya, Khalida, Isla, who we're going to hear from in a few moments, Uncle Vincent, nephew Abdullah, and I think that's it. I also want to re-acknowledge, let's hear for Jamal's family, by the way. I want to also re-acknowledge some folks that Justin referred to whose sentences I commuted a few months ago, and I asked them each to stand up. Myrna Diaz, Myrna, stand up. Denise Staples is in the house. And John Jackson and her husband. I also see Pastor Amir Khan on the back, so I'm sure I'm going to miss some folks. Great to have you ladies and Mr. Jackson with us as well. Now I know for families like theirs, the commutations I'm announcing today are of profound importance. In fact, altogether, it's staggering when you think about this. I will be commuting more than 100 years of prison time. That means a century of family get-togethers, holidays, and memories. It means parents being reunited with their children and lives being changed in a fundamental level for the better. And rather than dwelling on the details of this process, this morning I want to share a couple of the stories of the individuals who will soon be receiving their second chance, starting with this woman, Raisha Barlow. Because today, by all accounts, Raisha is a model citizen. Currently, she works for the city of Trenton as a reentry coordinator, a role in which she helps people with criminal records like hers find jobs and housing so they can get their lives back on track. But outside of her day job, Raisha is also an accomplished author and poet. She has shared her talents with families experiencing grief by writing poems in honor of their deceased loved ones. And despite her vast contributions to her community and our state, Raisha continues to face hurdles in navigating life, all because decades ago she was convicted of drug-related offenses as a young adult. But in the years since, Raisha has completely turned her life around. She has maintained sobriety for more than 15 years. And every single day she works to help others, both in her professional capacity as well as in her capacity as an artist. Raisha tells me that being pardoned and having her criminal record expunged would mean everything to her. I know that she said that because she said it to me on a phone call last week, which is at the top of the list of phone calls that I'll never forget. So to Raisha and to the other 86 individuals who will be receiving a pardon, let me say it is an honor to grant you the legal relief that you have earned. To grant legal relief to the 5 individuals whose sentences of incarceration I will be commuting today, including your brother, Isla Jamal Muhammad. And Jamal's, Pastor Steffi Bartley is with us. Pastor Bartley, great to have you here. Human applause machine, Jim. In Jamal's case, he has been living behind bars for nearly 30 years. And that is back when he was 21 years old, he was sentenced to prison for a murder he did not commit. Now, to be clear, Jamal did make mistakes early in his life, but he was also a victim of circumstances. As a young man, his parents were not present in his life, so he resorted to selling drugs to help pay the bills and to provide for his siblings. But Jamal's situation took a turn for the worst when he was involved in an incident during which his co-defendant shot and killed a victim during a robbery. Over the years, Jamal has taken responsibility for his actions. And while serving his time, he has undergone a remarkable transformation. He discovered a passion for ethics and religious studies. He discovered a passion and even writing a book based on anti-bullying, so he can do his part to build a gentler and more compassionate world. Along the way, Jamal has also distinguished himself as a proud and loving father, because despite the fact that he's been incarcerated for nearly the entirety of their lives, he has dedicated himself to maintaining a close relationship with his 2 children. He even co-authored an e-book with his son, which enabled them to collaborate from a distance and stay in touch. So with today's commutation, Jamal will finally be able to reunite with his children, along with all of his relatives with us today, outside the confines of prison, and begin a new chapter together as a family. I mentioned the phone call that Raisha and I had. I did each one of these moments, I've done a couple of these selective phone calls, and I've done, as these ladies know, for lack of a virtual, a Zoom conversation, and they are staggeringly emotional, as you can imagine, for them, and I have to say for yours truly. I want to mention one, and Jamal was no exception. I want to mention one particular detail about Jamal's commutation that speaks, I think, to his deep desire to reunite with his family. Because in many, and Amal and Rebecca, I think, would agree with this, in many, if not most cases, when somebody applies for a partner commutation through our Clemency initiative, they fill out their application almost always in consultation with a lawyer, either ACLU or someone else in there. But in Jamal's case, pointedly, he applied for clemency entirely on his own. He trusted that if he submitted an application that recounted the details of his situation, and if he demonstrated just how much he has grown and evolved while serving his time, that he would receive the justice that he deserves. He trusted that the members of the Clemency Advisory Board would appreciate the merits of his application, and that they would see that more than anything, Jamal is a father who wants nothing more than to be reunited with his family. Well, he was correct, and his faith in this process was rewarded. And that is because with our Clemency Initiative, we have created a fair and accessible approach for our neighbors involved with the criminal justice system to seek legal relief. So to Justin, to all of the members of the Clemency Advisory Board, and to the members of my counsel's office and policy team, and to all the advocates with fierce passion here today, thank you for helping renew faith in our state's criminal justice system. Together we are living up to the promise of equal justice for all, and honestly, I think that is the most fitting way possible to honor Second Chance Month. Now, as I said when I announced the first round of pardons and commutations in December, this is an ongoing process, and Justin alluded to this. Beyond the next administration, but more in the here and now, I look forward to granting more clemency during our final 9 months in office. So please consider this your invitation. If you or a loved one are seeking a pardon or commutation, make sure to submit your application at nj.gov/clemency. nj.gov/clemency. We need to get a request in order to take action. Again, nj.gov/clemency. It's not a hard and fast deadline in cement, but our strong hope is that you get to us by June 1st, because it takes, as the folks who are impacted will attest, it takes many months to get from here to there. As I mentioned, it's a thoughtful and deliberative process, and it can take a significant amount of time. And I want to make sure that we provide legal relief to every New Jerseyan who has earned their second chance. Thank you all once again. And with that, it is now my great honor and pleasure to introduce one of Jamal Muhammad's siblings, his sister Isla, to share a few words. Isla, come on down.
So I was going to start off with, in the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Good morning to Governor Murphy, the members of the Clemency Advisory Board, state and local officials, religious and faithful leaders, and the criminal justice advocates. I am Isla Muhammad, a sister of Jamal Muhammad.
Take your time.
We have all done.
As when I was talking to Tyler, I'm going to go off script for a second. I said, when you describe him, he's my it. I was born to a best friend. We're 17 months apart. So the 27 years apart has torn me. But I am appreciative. With him coming home, with his release, with the work of everybody else, I feel like I'll be complete. My family's looking at me because I'm being a little selfish. But I'm going to go back. Like I said, my brother, we want to thank everyone who listened, who helped, who advocated, who had to make a decision, on this. We say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We would also like to extend appreciation to the victim's family for their support in his sentence being commuted. We only can imagine the level of diligence and care that accompanied this process. But know that this 27-year-long prayer, which began in the hearts of our deceased parents, has been answered. And we are eternally grateful to God for this profound and long-awaited opportunity. My brother Jamal is genuinely a sincere and compassionate individual who has always been a pillar of strength within our family and our community. Even during his incarceration, he remained an asset to those around him. He relied on his Lord for spiritual guidance and mental clarity. Deepening his knowledge through studies in multiple Islamic sciences. In addition, he earned various certifications to better prepare for the evolving world he would soon be entering. Notably, Jamal has authored a book aimed at youth, encouraging kindness and peaceful conflict resolution. Our family, along with our extended Islamic family, eagerly anticipates his return. We are confident in his ability to teach, mentor, and uplift our youth, particularly young men, both within the community and beyond. We have long been preparing to support him through his transition and are fully committed to helping him thrive in his next stage of life. Jamal would actively contribute to our family-run nonprofit organization, which is Connecting the Dots, and to our local masjid, which is Masjid Muhammad of Atlantic City. Our love for Jamal is unwavering, and we look forward to creating new memories and forging deeper connections as a united family. Once again, we thank everyone sincerely for granting Jamal this opportunity to rejoin his loved ones and contribute meaningfully to society. Your warmest wishes from the Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Let's have a deal. The next time we do one of these, can we get Jamal and you to come back?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll have Jamal here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We can only imagine. Last but not least, as I say, I only knew her on the phone until a few moments ago. But in from the capital city, an absolute rock star in both her professional and personal lives. Please help me welcome the one and only Raisha Barlow.
Go, Mommy.
I am so blessed and highly favored. You guys don't have a clue of what my life was like. God has his hands all over, on top of me, all up under me, and he has kept me. And I am so grateful.
Always to see you.
Okay.
On your face there.
For sure. Okay. So first, I want to thank everyone that's here, everyone that participated in this process. Thank you so much for everything. But giving honor to God, who is first in my life, I would like to thank the Governor Phil Murphy of New Jersey for this incredible opportunity to speak before you today. I'm also deeply grateful for you, Governor, for granting me a second chance at life. Your decision to grant me a pardon has opened doors I never could imagine possible. I take full responsibility for the mistakes I made when I was younger. But I must be honest, those very mistakes were the things God used to shape me and to stretch me into the woman I am today. When I left prison, I remember telling myself, I'm coming home to help people just like me. I joined a church in Ewing called Change Church, and my pastor helped me get a job at Volunteers of America. I worked there for 6 years assisting the homeless and individuals with criminal backgrounds. By the grace of God, I was elevated to a role with the city of Trenton as a reentry specialist there. I helped over 250 returning citizens secure employment opportunities in the last 3 years. As a single mother, I put my daughter through college at Virginia Union University and raised my granddaughter Mackenzie while my daughter completed her higher education.
Sure did.
I've written 4 books, composed and performed over 500 poems for grieving families in the city of Trenton. But God wasn't finished with me yet. I am currently studying filmmaking under Mega Mind Production, and soon I believe one of my projects will be greenlit. I say all this to give God the glory. He has brought brought me a long way, guys, from the young girl lying on that prison bunk in Edna Man Correction Facility, dreaming to become a writer. Today, I officially retired my state number 14489. I will never again be told what I cannot do. God has made all things possible for those who believe in him. Once again, I thank my pastor, Darius Daniels, the City of Trenton Council, Mayor Reed Gorsiera, the C Center, my family, my children, Mazzani and Will, and most of all, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And to my mother and grandmother in heaven, I did it, Mom. Thank you. And I just wrote John, I slid this in here, it's only for 8 bars, okay? The day I got in trouble, my life forever changed. There was a number attached to my character in the back of my last name. I was sent to a facility to serve the remaining of my time. It was supposed to correct my behavior, but what I felt was empty inside. I had to get my life together due to my personal circumstance. But my faith stayed in God, so he didn't allow me to be mad. I channeled my inner feelings into the things I would come to love. I took my writing serious, understanding just who I was. I was determined to help more people who were just like you and me. I would put my plans in action the moment I was free. I worked for many nonprofits just to give the people hope. I knew my writing would make a difference in all the words I wrote. Today I'm an author and a poet and a screenwriter too. Now that I was pardoned, I have nothing left to prove. My parents and my grandparents, I know they would be proud. I know they're watching from heaven, although they're not around. My children are my blessing and the reason for my change. Since giving life to God, I have never been the same. I thank you, Governor Murphy, for the opportunity given. This will never be forgotten, nor the time I spent in prison. My life will be a testament in each and every way. I just want to say thank you for what happened here today.
Beside the phrase "short straws" to follow these 2 minutes. I just said to Horatio, if you're into film and writing for film,
Yes.
not why we're here today, you're in the right state. As they say in Hollywood, that's all she wrote. Jonathan, thank you for hosting us so graciously. Justin, to you and colleagues, to all of my team, and most importantly, to the folks who have been impacted by our actions these past several months, including today, including what I'm about to sign. Let's go. Thank you all. Isla, can you turn me and your sister? Is Micaiah here? I met you earlier. You did. Maybe we have one more. Honor. You good? Yeah, absolutely. What's all you getting?
You're the best, Governor.
I love you. I slipped Steffi a 20 to say that. I'm going to do, this will be the money shot because I can't see a thing. But okay. This is an order commuting the sentence of Jamal Muhammad, a.k.a. Jamal Stevens. I have to sign both of these, right? Okay. So I'm going to give the first pen to his sister Isla. siblings, is that okay? All right. Each of the sisters. Kaya, God bless you. Is it Cody? Bless you. So, people have asked me this, and I just make one administrative point before I make the more profound point. It takes a few days of administrative processing, so the likelihood is that Jamal and the folks that I privately commuted before coming out here will be free by the end of the week. But that here, so literally this week, but I have hereby commuted the sentence of Jamal. Hey, guys, come on. I'm long with 2 pens, I didn't realize. Come on. God bless you, God bless you. Thank you. And I would like to ask one Raisha Barlow to come on up here.
Oh, Governor, I love you.
God bless
Pastor, tell her, make sure you get my picture.
you. Are you part of Pastor Taylor's?
Yes, I'm at 4 C's meetings once a month in the city of Trenton, where we all get together and talk about how we can help our community.
Please tell him I did not recognize him without his hat.
Oh,
And this is a part, look, you know,
this is my grant, when I raised, when I put my daughter through school. That's my assistant, right here. This is my daughter. How are you? She's the executive assistant at Virginia Union
Any more?
University. Come on, my son-in-law and her godfather.
Okay, come on down.
Come on, guys.
It's like, the pen market is alive. First one goes to Raisha Barlow.
Oh, wow.
Raisha just said she's going to write poetry with that. How about you, young lady? Would you like a pen? Bless you.
Granddaughter. No, we're not gonna write right now.
Gotta look the part here, everybody.
Yes.
Is your daughter still behind you?
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You are a sister?
No, I'm her assistant.
Assistant?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's my cousin, but she does all the graphic arts in Trenton, New Jersey, for
Okay,
the
can I
fire
give you a pen?
department, police station, Trenton schools.
Is that okay? Great. I got 2 more. We have 2 more customers
Okay, so
behind
you
you.
have my son-in-law,
Okay.
who is a pastor.
Pastor.
He also goes to Virginia Union University,
Is that you?
and this is her godfather, who is a professor at VUU.
It's a family of...
I've been trying this since 4 this morning for this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Raisha, you are hereby pardoned. That's it.
Please don't lose.
Thank you all again.
Thank you.